Textbooks are a traditional way of presenting information to students. Ebooks are a flexible format for storing and presenting information. Ebooks on CD can be used with any computer.
Every teacher wants to have every single one of their kids on the internet, right? How do you get the internet in your classroom without having internet connections? And then how do you get the internet in your class to make sure that it's reliable?
Textbooks are a traditional way of presenting information to students. They are printed on paper and bound in books. Ebooks are a flexible format for storing and presenting information. There are two types of ebook. First, ebooks that you can read on a CD. You can use these if you have a computer, a desktop, or a laptop. Second, there's the standalone ebook. The standalone ebook uses a reading device that you can carry like a book. It is independent from a desktop computer. Ebooks on CD can be used with any computer. A typical school has all of the equipment needed to use an ebook on CD. A desktop computer or a laptop computer with a CD-ROM drive.
Microsoft Internet Explorer, Netscape Navigator is on every single computer. Can you buy a computer today without IE on it? Of course not. Okay, so we have the tools out there, but we're not using them effectively. Every teacher wants to have every single one of their kids on the internet, right? How do you get the internet in your classroom without having internet connections? And then how do you get the internet in your class to make sure that it's reliable? Yeah, we used to do floppies all the time, and then we found out that it's too limiting because you only get, in real terms, 1.38 megs on a floppy.
Okay.
But today, you've got to have rich media. You've got to have sound.
I have an example of that on your Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Just check this out. Here's the story behind Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Okay.
Shelby Foote was interviewed on Ken Burns' Civil War documentary on the Civil War.
Yeah, right,
Okay,
right.
and Shelby Foote said flat out, you cannot study the Civil War without first studying Uncle Tom's Cabin. I went to my middle school library. No Uncle Tom's Cabin. Where's Uncle Tom's Cabin? Well, I've eventually found a copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin. How do you get, books in every kid's hand, especially one that doesn't exist in your library? Okay, and I started looking around and I found a couple of copies online, but they take forever to download. The book is huge, and it's a tough read. But here it is. The whole book just popped off the ebook in the time that we were just talking here.
All right.
Okay, if you were to try to download this from the internet, okay, it would take you a while depending on your connection. Okay, and then you've got other problems. Is it formatted for your screen? You're not going to have the rich graphics, those kind of things in there. Go over, highlight what you want to take, right-click. Okay, paste it into a Word document, and boom, you've got whatever you want. Okay, and this shows Eliza running over the Ohio River, ice flow to ice flow, with baby Harry in her arms, and the barking hounds at her feet, and those evil slave owners behind her. A 31-page book, you're spending 2-3 days in class instead of weeks. You have all the characters presented. It's quick, it's easy, and it's educationally significant. There really was an Uncle Tom. His name was Josiah Henson. That's who the story was based on. It's just like having a really nice website that you never find a 404 on. You never find, the service is down, the computer isn't working. I mean, you know what you've got because it's all on a disk.
How do you handle this in a classroom that only has 3 computers? Are you sending this home with them?
I send a note home with the parents, and here it is. I'll print this right out and say, parent, I'm sending home this disc. I want you to pop it in your computer with your kid and sit and watch them and go over it. And the response I get from parents is unreal. Because finally they say, my computer is being used for something more than just a gaming machine or a word processor. And that's the same kind of thing I hear from teachers as well. Here's how they started. I had my class in the internet lab at Middle School of the Arts. Okay, so I signed up for the lab a month early. I had my time in the lab. All the computers were up, all the computers were running. Everything was going just the way it's supposed to go, just like it says in your lesson plan. We were doing research on Kwanzaa. Okay. I had a kid put his hand up and said, Mr. Y, would you come over here for a minute? I want to show you something. He was looking for Kwanzaa pictures. And for some bizarre reason, he got into a porn site that had not been firewalled by the school board. Oh man, you know, pictures of lawsuits and all kinds of bizarre, you know, school board-based tribunals were dancing through my head at that point. And how many times do you get into something where the kid doesn't know where he's going, or you don't know where the kid's going? I know every single thing on here, and there's more information than a kid will ever use or go through on the disk. Oh yeah, there's programs out there called WebWhacker that can do exactly that thing where you can take a whole site down. Okay, but then you're getting into copyright issues. Okay, and not that that really matters. I don't think there's been a teacher in this country that's been sued for copyright infringement. Okay, but it becomes a hassle. Okay, and you're still not getting. There is no one website that can mold and present the information the way I want it presented. Okay, and that's the benefit of using this. Okay.
Much less.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. One of my favorite movies. Okay. Can you bring it into a classroom room? Okay. Nowadays, you know, we've got so many constraints on our time. Okay. We want to be able to get the biggest bang in the shortest amount of time.
Right.
Okay. What I might do now is bring in a segment of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And then we go one step further, and from the movie, here is how a bill becomes a law. Go get the video. Those are the kind of things that you can do. Here is the assignment for the third term, 2002. They understand what they're going to be graded on.
Okay.
There you go. And little rubrics composed. Doing your grading, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Everyone's on the same page. Okay,
No
you've got examples up
surprises.
in the room. No surprises at all. And parents, you know, and guidance counselors, when you're looking at grades, pulling them up, okay, saying, well, you know, what's going on, what's expected in this class, here you go. So it really is using the resources that we have available. And again, this is all on disk, so you don't have to have an internet connection if you just want to use this in your class. Okay, but if you've got a website, you can pop this right up there, and boom, it's at everybody's fingertips. Kids and computers, it still works. You know, you put them out there. Kids and computers say, here's the disk. I want you to do what's on here. Okay, and running them through it. Demonstrating, modeling for the kids in the front of the classroom, showing that you're not only technologically literate, and how hard is it to open up a disk and click twice, okay? But to actually take that step and say, okay, now it's your turn. You guys have to produce something like this. PowerPoint. Very simple. All computers have PowerPoint. I mean, at least in Palm Beach County they do, because we bought the site licenses for it.
Right.
Okay. How many PowerPoint presentations does a kid make? I mean, in my school, I'm the only one that has them making any. So taking the information from the ebook and turning them into a presentation where they're presenting the material and they're teaching, boom. I mean, that's serious teaching.
Yeah, I love visualandactive. You're teaching us information, but we're having fun at the same time.